One general never lost a battle in 53 years. Another conquered half the world before age 33. Number 10 will shock you. Let's begin. 1. Julius Caesar, 144 BC. The man who transformed Rome from a republic into an empire wasn't just a politician. He was a military genius who conquered Gaul and expanded Roman territory to unprecedented heights. Caesar's campaigns in Gaul between 58 and 50 BC brought modern-day France, Belgium, and parts of Germany under Roman control. His legendary crossing of the Rubicon River in 49 BC sparked a civil war that he won decisively. What made Caesar exceptional was his speed of movement, his ability to inspire absolute loyalty in his legions, and his brilliant tactical adaptations. At the Battle of Alesia in 52 BC, he defeated a Gallic force nearly 3 times his size by building elaborate fortifications and fighting on 2 fronts simultaneously. Caesar personally wrote commentaries on his wars, giving us direct insight into his strategic mind. His military reforms and conquests laid the foundation for centuries of Roman dominance. 2. Khalid ibn al-Walid, 592–642 AD. Known as the Sword of Allah, Khalid ibn al-Walid remains one of history's most underrated military commanders, never losing a battle in over 100 engagements. This Arab-Muslim general played a crucial role in the early Islamic conquests, defeating the Byzantine and Sassanid Persian empires at their peak. His tactical brilliance shone at the Battle of Yarmouk in 636 AD, where he commanded a smaller force that destroyed a massive Byzantine army, opening the Levant to Muslim conquest. Khalid pioneered innovative cavalry tactics, including the double envelopment and mobile reserve strategies that influenced warfare for centuries. What set him apart was his ability to fight successfully in diverse terrains, from the deserts of Arabia to the mountains of Syria. He could command small raiding parties or massive armies with equal skill. Despite his unmatched success, he was dismissed from command due to political rivalry, yet his military legacy endures. 3. Hannibal Barca, 247–183 BC. The Carthaginian general who haunted Rome's nightmares for 15 years, Hannibal Barca executed one of history's boldest military campaigns by crossing the Alps with elephants to invade Italy. From 218 to 203 BC, he won victory after victory on Roman soil, including the devastating Battle of Cannae in 216 BC, where he encircled and annihilated a Roman army twice his size. This double envelopment maneuver is still studied in military academies worldwide as a masterclass in tactical perfection. Hannibal fought Rome for over a decade on their home territory without reinforcements or supplies from Carthage, living off the land and recruiting allies from Rome's enemies. His understanding of psychology, terrain, and timing was extraordinary. Though he never captured Rome itself and ultimately lost the war, his campaigns inflicted such trauma that Roman mothers would frighten children by saying, "Hannibal is at the gates," for generations. His strategic vision influenced military thought for over 2,000 years. 4. Genghis Khan, 1162–1227. The founder of the largest contiguous land empire in human history, Genghis Khan united the Mongol tribes and created a military machine that conquered territory from China to Eastern Europe. Born as Temujin, he rose from poverty to build an empire spanning over 12 million square miles by his death in 1227. What made the Mongol military so devastating was Genghis Khan's revolutionary approach to warfare, combining superior mobility, psychological warfare, intelligence networks, and meritocracy. He promoted commanders based on ability rather than aristocratic birth, a radical concept for the 13th century. His armies moved with unprecedented speed, often covering over 60 miles per day, using superior horsemanship and composite bows that outranged any contemporary weapons. Genghis Khan also pioneered the use of terror as a strategic weapon, ensuring that cities that surrendered peacefully were treated well, while those that resisted faced total destruction. His legal code, intelligence system, and military organization created a foundation that allowed the Mongol Empire to continue expanding for generations after his death. 5. Napoleon Bonaparte, 1769–1821. The Corsican artillery officer who became Emperor of France revolutionized warfare and dominated Europe for over a decade through his tactical genius and strategic innovation. Napoleon fought roughly 60 battles in his career and lost only 7, establishing himself as one of history's most successful commanders. He perfected the corps system, allowing his armies to move faster and more flexibly than any opponent. His strategy of divide and conquer involved moving rapidly to defeat enemies in detail before they could unite against him. At Austerlitz in 1805, considered his masterpiece, Napoleon deliberately weakened his center to lure the enemy into a trap, then crushed both their flanks in a devastating counterattack. He understood logistics, morale, and combined arms warfare better than anyone of his era. Napoleon personally trained his marshals, created a military educational system, and codified tactical doctrines that influenced warfare into the 20th century. Though he ultimately fell at Waterloo in 1815, his impact on military science remains unparalleled. 6. Alexander the Great, 356–323 BC, the Macedonian king who conquered the known world before his 33rd birthday. Alexander the Great created an empire stretching from Greece to India in just 13 years of campaigning. Tutored by Aristotle and trained by his father Philip II, Alexander inherited a formidable army and made it unstoppable. He never lost a battle, defeating the mighty Persian Empire through a combination of tactical brilliance, personal courage, and innovative strategies. At the Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BC, he faced a Persian army twice his size and won decisively by identifying and exploiting weaknesses in enemy formations. Alexander pioneered the hammer and anvil tactic, using his elite companion cavalry to deliver devastating charges while his infantry held the enemy in place. What truly set Alexander apart was his ability to inspire fanatical loyalty, often leading charges personally and sharing his soldiers' hardships. He founded over 20 cities, spread Greek culture across 3 continents, and created a legacy that inspired conquerors for millennia. His death at 32 left a power vacuum that reshaped the ancient world. 7. Subutai, 1175–1248. The greatest strategist of the Mongol Empire and possibly the finest operational commander in history, Subutai directed campaigns across a greater area than any general before the 20th century. Serving under Genghis Khan and his successors, Subutai conquered 32 nations and won 65 major battles, directing movements across distances spanning thousands of miles simultaneously. He orchestrated the Mongol invasions of Russia, Eastern Europe, and China with unprecedented coordination and strategic depth. At the Battle of Mohi in 1241, Subutai employed a sophisticated strategy involving night marches, diversionary attacks, and a feigned retreat that destroyed the Hungarian army. What made him extraordinary was his ability to coordinate multiple armies operating independently over vast distances, sometimes conducting campaigns on opposite ends of Asia simultaneously. He pioneered intelligence gathering, using spy networks to scout terrain and enemy movements years before actual invasions. Subutai understood logistics on a continental scale and could adapt Mongol tactics to any terrain or enemy. His campaigns in Europe were so successful that only the death of the Great Khan prevented the Mongols from conquering Western Europe. 8. Scipio Africanus, 236–183 BC. The Roman general who defeated Hannibal and saved Rome from destruction. Scipio Africanus was a tactical innovator who learned from his enemies and turned their strategies against them. While Hannibal terrorized Italy, young Scipio studied his methods and developed countermeasures. He took the war to Africa, forcing Carthage to recall Hannibal to defend their homeland. At the Battle of Zama in 202 BC, Scipio faced history's greatest general and defeated him using Hannibal's own tactics, neutralizing the Carthaginian elephants and executing a perfectly timed cavalry envelopment. What distinguished Scipio was his adaptability and psychological insight. He reformed Roman tactics, trained specialized units, and understood how to manipulate enemy expectations. His Spanish campaigns showed diplomatic brilliance as he won over local tribes through fair treatment rather than terror. Scipio never lost a major battle, displayed extraordinary personal courage, and possessed a strategic vision that extended beyond individual victories to long-term political outcomes. He essentially ended Carthage as a major power and secured Roman dominance in the Mediterranean for centuries. 9. Takeda Shingen, 1521–1573. Known as the Tiger of Kai, Takeda Shingen was a Japanese daimyo whose military brilliance nearly unified feudal Japan before his death, stopped his unstoppable momentum. He fought over 40 battles and remained undefeated, mastering both offensive and defensive warfare. Shingen's rivalry with Uesugi Kenshin produced some of history's most legendary battles, including 4 confrontations at Kawanakajima. His use of combined infantry, cavalry, and firearms was extraordinarily sophisticated for the 16th century. What made Shingen exceptional was his strategic patience and his development of defensive warfare to an art form. He created elaborate networks of fortifications, controlled vital resources, and understood economic warfare better than most of his contemporaries. His 24 generals, carefully chosen and trained, became legends themselves. Shingen pioneered the rapid deployment of forces using signal systems and messenger networks that allowed coordination across mountainous terrain. His administrative genius ensured his domain prospered even during constant warfare, maintaining loyal subjects and well-supplied armies. Only his sudden death from illness prevented him from marching on Kyoto and potentially becoming shogun. 10. Alexander Suvorov, or 1729–1800. The Russian generalissimo, who never lost a battle in his entire career spanning 53 years and over 60 major engagements, Alexander Suvorov stands as arguably the greatest tactical commander in history. From battling the Ottoman Empire to crushing rebellions and fighting revolutionary France, Suvorov won under every conceivable condition. His Italian and Swiss campaigns of 1799, conducted when he was 70 years old, remain miracles of military achievement. He led his army across the Alps in winter, defeating superior French forces repeatedly despite being outnumbered and operating in hostile terrain. What made Suvorov supreme was his revolutionary approach to warfare, focusing on speed, aggression, and the morale of his soldiers. His famous principle, train hard, fight easy, emphasized rigorous preparation and initiative at all levels. He wrote, "The Science of Victory," codifying principles that emphasized attacking the enemy's weak points, maintaining momentum, and avoiding siege warfare whenever possible. Unlike many commanders who won through superior numbers, Suvorov regularly defeated larger, well-positioned forces through superior tactics and the fierce loyalty of his troops. He treated common soldiers with unprecedented respect, personally checking on their welfare and leading from the front well into his 70s. From the ancient world to the age of gunpowder, these 10 commanders shaped civilizations and changed the course of human history. Each brought unique genius to the battlefield, whether through tactical innovation, strategic vision, or the ability to inspire their followers to achieve the impossible. What's your ranking? Did we get it right? Or would you rearrange this list? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating historical content. Until next time, keep learning about the legends who shaped our world.